welcome to a free, light version of Hughes from the Heart, from the forest of Mason County on the South Sound of the Evergreen State. I'm Spencer Hughes, and this is a podcast called Hughes from the Heart, also known as the Spencer Hughes Positivity Podcast, and I invite each and every one of you to join it on demand, 24/7. Thousands of pieces of content for you to mine through. All things positive. We talk about the law of attraction. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about mindfulness, minimalism, meditation. We talk about prosperity thinking. We talk about the power of the subconscious mind. We talk about how to empower yourself. We talk about good people doing good things in a good world, and that's what this podcast happens to be about. If you like what you hear, please support what I'm doing, because sometimes I feel like I'm the lone voice in the wilderness, while everyone else is focusing on the mayhem and the death, disease, and destruction of our world. I need help. I need help in my quest to spread the good, and the kind, and the just, and the loving, the good energy and the good vibes we all need more of. If you agree, please sign up today. Patreon.com/Spencer Hughes. It would mean the world to me, and I hope it'll mean the world to you once you start hearing the great content that you've been missing all this time. Patreon.com/Spencer Hughes. Again, the subject of this podcast, good people doing good things in a good world. And I know that when we start off any podcast with "this is a story of a Florida man," I know there's a stereotype. It's become kind of a joke. It's become a meme. As the young kids will say, it's become a meme, the Florida man meme. Whenever we talk about the Florida man, it's usually some psychopath running through the streets naked, lighting things on fire and running into traffic, right? We always hear about the guy, a Florida man, who hid a 25-foot python in his pants, tried to play it off. Well, this is not one of those stories. This story is pretty far out there, though. It's out of this world. Figuratively. Jupiter, Florida. Sorry about that. I couldn't resist. This story takes us to Jupiter, Florida, where a man in Jupiter decided that he could make a difference in his town by spending just under $1,000. And that nearly $1,000 amount he spent changed the day-to-day lives of many, many students and their parents. You see, he wanted to pay off the lunch debt for every child in the school system. The lunch debt. It all started with a social media post on Facebook. Angie Vias-Knight, administrator of the Jupiter Mamas Facebook group, told CNN, and this is from CNN.com, she was disgusted by national news stories about children who couldn't afford to buy lunch at school. She asked the Palm Beach County School Board for her district's stats. She shared the list of 9 schools and the outstanding lunch debt of those schools at $944.34. Not a small chunk of change, right? I mean, not a small chunk of change by any means. But that $944.34 was a small price to pay for Andrew Levy, who wanted to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of children, and did. Levy is a real estate agent in Palm Beach Gardens. Most of his business, though, is conducted in the Jupiter area. He says he fell in love with the community when he moved to South Florida just a few years ago. He said, "I fell in love with the ocean, with the buildings, with the community, with the people." And besides the business, Levy has no clear connection to the Jupiter area. But when he found out that over 400 kids in the area didn't have access to a proper lunch, he thought about his own childhood memories, how difficult it would have been to go to school hungry back when he was a kid. He said, these children that were in debt were going to either not eat or they'd get a cheese sandwich. And I thought, that's crazy. I thought, you know something? if for a modest sum I could make that change, I'm going to do it. So Mr. Levy got together with the district, paid off the outstanding debt in all 9 Jupiter area public schools, and you would think maybe this Good Samaritan story would end with that. But no, it doesn't end with that. He continued, every quarter, I'm going to do either a GoFundMe page or a fundraising page that can raise money every quarter so lunch debt never accumulates, so that children never have to worry about a hot meal and parents never have to worry about paying that bill. And it looks like many in the community are getting behind him. Over 200 people commented, many asking how they could help themselves. And it didn't take very long for Mr. Levy to realize that his act of kindness had started, as many acts of kindness do, if not all of them, a chain reaction. He said, I even had some clients over the past 48 hours say, you know something? I want to help give too. I want to give too to this. Levy's contribution of nearly that $1,000 made a major impact in Jupiter. A spokesperson for the district said to CBS 12 News that the total outstanding lunch debt across Palm Beach County is still sitting at $51,000. So you can visit the district website if you're interested, palmbeachschools.org, and then keywords food, school food service. But there's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Levy and people like him with big hearts, and fortunately big enough bank accounts that they can make a difference, will get that debt down. How far down will they get it? I don't know. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I believe in the efforts of Andrew Levy and those others who are helping. And it makes me smile that 400 kids plus in the Jupiter area of Florida now have access to a proper lunch, all because of the kindness of a total stranger. This has been a Hughes from the Heart, a light edition. If you want the full edition, you can get it every single day. And I hope you will sign up for it. I really do. It would warm my heart to see you sign up. Patreon.com/Spencer Hughes. This is a free version, but if you like what you hear, please consider, you could sponsor it as well, but please consider supporting the podcast for $1 a month. That's 3 pennies a day. We can all do that. So thank you very much for being here, my friends. It's Hughes from the Heart, and we will continue.